Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. I've got a bit of collage inspiration for you today. So these are the books I've used: Rainbows and Lollipops, Street Oracle and Face It, the one that I collabed with Emily. So I've already cut all of the images out. You don't need to sit and watch me cutting them out, but generally I do tend to use my craft knife to cut these out now. I just find it's a little bit easier for me. So anyway, there we go. Starting a brand new journal. I generally don't add gesso onto these pages. So this is a Dilutions journal. The pages just accept the paint really well. The paint I'm using is Dina Wakley Media Paint. The first colour that I've used there is mustard, and then I have used sky. So I'm going to kind of just create some interesting colours on the background, almost sunsetty type colours, because I'm going for almost like a story on my page. One of the ways that I love to work with the Collage Soup images is to kind of build a story. And I often don't come to journaling with collage with an idea of what I want to do. I kind of let the images inspire me and just see what I want to use and then how I can put them together. And quite often it grows from that. Now, that might sound a bit wifty, a bit woo-woo, but that is generally what happens. So just a quick run through of the colours. I've got mustard, sky, iris, and then night. And then this is raspberry. So you can see I'm trying to sort of create almost like a sort of sunset idea. Actually, that might be Sedona. And then I've gone in with a bit more of the night as well. And then this is lime at the bottom of the page. So I've created that kind of background where I've got ground sky. You notice there's a bit missing in the middle. I'm not painting that because it's going to be covered over by the houses as I pop them on. This is a stencil from Natalie May Scrapbooking. And I'm just adding a few stars onto the page using white. So that's my night sky. A few splatters, bit of white left over, why not? So generally when I'm doing collage, I don't make my painted backgrounds very complicated because there's a lot of busyness going on with the images. They don't really need to be, but I do like to add colour to my pages. Here you can see I'm just overlapping those images so that they kind of nestle up together, and they just storytell even better then, and I can fit more on. Yeah, so those houses are going to go along the bottom. That's just a gel medium that I'm using. It's a matte one. I'm popping some flowers on, growing out of the houses, because why not? I mean, wouldn't it be pretty if some flowers were that big? I think so. I think as well, if you're going to tuck things behind, you need to work faster than me, because you can see there I didn't manage to lift that house up. It wasn't having any of it. It had already stuck down. Here I'm just going to stick these stars up at the top. I always pop a bit of gel medium over the top of my images as well. Sorry about my head. It just helps to kind of seal them onto the page. A little cat climbing on the roof. There's one sitting behind the stars and one at the bottom of my page. So that's kind of how I'm going to put this story together. And then it's time, once it's all completely dry, it's time to go in with some mark making and some lines. So this is a Signo Uniball in white, and I'm just outlining some of those stars just to pull them forwards. And then I'm going to do my writing. And today I decided I was going to write down the side of my page. I like to play with the space that I've got on my page sometimes when it comes to adding in my writing, thinking outside the box and thinking, where can I fit my words around the images that are on my page already? And it just brings that extra playful element to my work, which I really like. And using white, the reason I went for white is because my background is quite dark, and I knew that if I used black, it would disappear. Mixing up pens, so this, you can see this is the third different pen that I've used to do my lettering. So I've gone in with quite a thick one for the word home. and gradually thinner and thinner. It's just about thinking about that variety when you are creating your writing on your page, working with different thicknesses of pen. Just bring those extra levels of interest. So, and also it's easier to fit more words in with a thinner pen. So, it's not all about it's not all about intentional thinking of this will look cool if I use a really thin pen for the end of my quote. It was because I knew I was running out of space. So a thinner pen was going to be easier to fit it in. But I actually really like how that looks too. So, and then I'm writing the word dark in black because that fits. But you see that disappears on the roof. I think I go in and outline that with a white pen. Yes, just to pull that forwards a little bit. So there are all these little tips and tricks that you can use to just pull things forwards and push them away. Things that are good to remember. I think this is one of my favourite pages that I've created for quite a while. I love how this page came together, and I'm happy that it's the first page in a brand new journal and I haven't screwed it up. So that's a win-win, isn't it? Spending a bit of time outlining the rest of the lettering as well. I find this quite meditative and relaxing. It's yeah, I like to do this. And when I'm creating, I'm often listening to podcasts or um, things on programs, films that I might have seen before. I like to have noise in the background. Sometimes I create with music on as well. I just find it helps me relax, and having a bit of tinnitus as well, it's quite nice to drown out that noise. So I always need a bit of background noise, but it does mean that when I'm doing processes like this bit where I'm outlining, I can just relax and let it happen. So this page basically started with the images and I grew the page from that. So if you're not sure where to start with your art journal pages and you want to use some Collage Soup images, just go through and see which images you really like in the stash that you've got and work from there. So thanks for watching. I hope you've found some inspiration and enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe so you get notified of new videos when they go live. There are usually regular days for posting videos on Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. And I hope to see you again soon.